get to record.
All good. I get that completely. How are ya?
I am fine. And here we are in your closet. I love your closet.
I just did a whole reno. My poor husband. I had to kick him out.
Go. My husband's sitting in the other room waiting for his dinner. He's so cute. Those hubbies. Well, we are excited to have you here. And I know our time is short. Do you have any questions for me before we get started?
No, I'm pretty good. We could just have a nice conversation, right?
You know, all I can say is I watch your videos and I think I just want to be invited to Carla's closet, and I'll have a gin and tonic while she does a little zhuzhing, and then she can look at me and be like, Kristen, come on, more color.
Right. But it's true. At the end of the day, everybody needs a little more color.
We do indeed.
Or anything, but I just want to say hi, Carla. I'm filling in on for Joey.
Hey, how are you?
How are you? I'm good, and you?
Good, honey. Thank you.
Well, let's just get started.
Okay.
All right. So I'll just kind of introduce you. And I was saying before, you know, this is less of an interview and more of like an inspirational segment for all the pro-age women out there who have been just wondering what their next act is. And you're so fabulous because you're part entertainer, you're part fashion designer, you're part real woman. I kind of think of you as the Ina Garten, because I'm a culinary person. It's all about food with me. So I know they say you're the Carrie Bradshaw of TikTok, but I'm kind of like, she's more my Ina Garten of fashion.
I love that. I mean, at the end of the day, the moniker is fabulous. You know, Carrie Bradshaw is a fabulous moniker. But you know, we're different people. And I enjoy Carrie's eclectic sense of style. And I share that with her tenfold. You know, when she first showed up in her little Dior t-shirt and her tulle ball gown, I was like shockingly validated. But really, I was like, I've been dressing like that for years. But I'm very real. Like I am who I am, and I don't try and be any different, you know.
And that's what everybody loves about you. So let's just roll, sister.
Okay.
We're ready.
Okay.
All right. So I am recording. Thank you, God, for that. Okay. Hi, Carla. It's so nice to have you here. For those of you who don't know Carla, you're in for a real treat today because Carla Rockmore is known as TikTok's real life Carrie Bradshaw, and Vogue gave her that moniker, and she is number 53 in People Magazine's 100 Reasons to Love America in 2022. And we are so lucky to have you here at the Pro-Age Woman Summit.
Thank you. I'm going to be so proactive about being pro-age that I'm going to try and put my thing on Do Not Disturb for a second.
I just learned how to do that. I'm like, why is my phone ringing? Yeah. Okay.
Right? Yes. Well, very nice to be here. Thank you so much.
Well, it's lovely to have you here. And there are so many women who find themselves in their 50s and they're kind of like, okay, what next? Like, here I am. I'm 64. So I've been in that 50s spot and I did a full reinvention. And it's the best thing that ever happened to find this extra time in your life. But can you tell us a little bit about kind of what got you started and how you kind of like managed to turn yourself into a TikTok sensation in COVID?
Well, that was not planned. Okay, let me just preface the whole thing. That was a total shocker to the entire family, including my teenage kids at the time. I was a designer, still am a clothing and accessory jewelry designer. And we were in lockdown like everybody else. And I'm Canadian, had a whole slew of friends up north, shivering and miserable, and said, make me laugh, do something. And I was so ill-equipped to recognize the importance of social media that I didn't even have an account in March of 2020. I didn't have, I had an Instagram to say happy birthday to friends. That was it. And it scared me, and I wouldn't post on my own. I would have my kids do it for me. And so I did these YouTube videos to entertain myself and my friends, because if there's one thing that I recognized is that I am good when I'm creating. That's what makes me happy. And I think as women, especially as we age, we have got to give ourselves the gift of 20 minutes a day, if that's all you've got, to feed your soul, separate and apart from your kids, separate and apart from your husband, separate and apart from your job. And my thing was making stuff. It made me happy to make things. Unfortunately, it was never food, so my poor kids starved. But as long as I could wear it, I was happy making it. And that was all taken away in lockdown. So I watched Netflix for about 2 weeks and figured, okay, it's either get in the bed and pull the covers over my head or do something different. And the only thing that I really had in terms of tools or materials was this closet, you know, my collection, my song and dance kind of personality, and my kid to teach me how to edit.
And that was a question I had for you. You know, your videos are so awesome, and you just learned how to do this?
Oh yeah, that's my favorite part of the whole thing, is the editing. Unfortunately, once things really ramped up and got busy, I had to then have somebody help me do that. So somebody else is now doing the editing. But prior, you know, I did it all myself. And that was my favorite part. Like, I'd finish the video, I'd get my hair in a scrunchie, I'd wash all my makeup off, I'd put on my sweatpants, I'd run to the kitchen with a cup of tea, and I'd sit there and put it all together, because I find it very creative.
Well, you are obviously an incredibly creative person, and I love the message you just gave everybody. And it's my favorite quote from Arthur Ashe: start where you are, use what you have, do what you can.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you did. You took your interest in fashion and your creative spirit, and you combined them with humor to entertain your friends. And the message is really, every woman's got something in her arsenal that she could be sharing with the world, right?
Every person has got gifts, talents that nobody else has. Every single person has things about them, whether it be from their family background or their genetics or their history, with education, no matter what it is. If you throw those things in a blender and find the sweet spot of the hole in the community, that's where your source of happiness will lie.
And here we are in our 40s, 50s, and 60s with all this experience too.
I mean, and then my other favorite saying is, fake it till you make it. Like, really, who cares? At the end of the day, pretend. Yeah. Pretend, you know, social media, meaning me, or whatever you want to try that's new. And you'll get it. You just have to pretend for a while.
I love that. So what do you think about being kind of the Carrie Bradshaw character? Like, how does that resonate with you? Because I see it. You're creative, you're funny, you're quirky, you're kind of every woman in so many ways. And I think that's what made Carrie Bradshaw such a relatable character. And that's what I find in you, but you're not a character, you're a real person.
Yeah. I mean, Carrie and I, there's different facets of our personalities that sort of resonate or are similar per se. For sure, our eclectic taste. We don't like to box ourselves in and say, I am a minimalist or I am a maximalist or whatever it may be, because I like to play. So I'm not going in that direction. I like the tension of a look. That's what really does it for me. So, a construction boot, which is very punk, mixed with a frilly lace dress. That's my MO, because the tension between the two. But I think also, more importantly, is that Carrie and I recognized that clothing is a form of self-expression without words. So you can not say boo and, leave your house and, state who you are, how you're feeling that day, without talking about it. And that's kind of effective and helpful. If I'm in a real crappy mood, the lip doesn't go on and nobody looks at me.
So what do you want to say to women who during COVID kind of like got into their sweatpants and have had a really hard time getting out?
Start with one little sign. You don't have to dive in to the point where it's stressful. Do one thing that's different, whether it be a little bit of a movement exercise, or whether it be a color that you've never worn, but for some reason, everybody tells you you look good in every time you wear it, even if it's just a scarf. I would say something like that. I think that movement in our age is really important for our mental health. And I'm not saying, get on the spin bike and deplete yourself to oblivion. Okay. I don't go there, but just to get things, circulation and movement going, I like the idea of taking a half an hour of movement in. It helps my head as much as it helps my body.
That is such great advice, because so often just doing that helps you get those creative juices going, because stepping away from the screen and doing something that's really all about you kind of releases all that whatever's still up in there.
We're all having conversations in our head with ourselves all day long. So sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of a respite.
So I'm wearing navy blue with my little cute leather jacket. I know navy blue is one of your favorite colors for mature women, or for women of any age, actually. You call it another neutral. Can you give us a couple of tips for spicing up our wardrobe, and especially for women, pro-age women who want to not be categorized, who want to be ageless, right? We want to be ageless.
Well, I mean, I say navy primarily because it is a softer form of black. It's just as neutral and more sophisticated to wear with black. Did you know that black isn't a color? It is not. It's a shade. Black and white are not colors. They are shades, and gray is in between. Navy is a color. Therefore, navy will look super sophisticated with any other color. So you'll never look like a bumblebee wearing yellow and navy. But you might look like a bumblebee wearing yellow and black. You get it? You the same with Halloween, the orange and the black might be a little pumpkin-y. You throw orange and navy on, chef's kiss, spectacular. So that's my first tip. Second, lasers. Lasers with a little bit of nipping in at the waist, something a little tailored, with a tiny little shoulder pad, doesn't have to be linebacker chic, is like scaffolding for a woman of a certain age. Because even if you're sort of not paying attention to your posture, it will do the work for you, right?
I love the scaffolding analogy.
Yes. And I mean, the first thing I would say is if you don't know your colors, if you don't actually know, because lots of people don't know what look good on them, not everybody's good in this department, then colors and proportion. If you don't know if you have short legs or long legs, if you don't know if you have wide hips or narrow hips, you have an idea for sure. Okay. But if you hire a professional, even if it's just for a few hours, it will pay you off tenfold in clothes you don't wear and in mistakes you make over and over again, and you don't know why. I mean, I am horrific with numbers. Therefore, I don't do my own taxes. Like, I hire somebody, I source it out. We're allowed to source areas out.
You would never think of doing your own dental work. So why think you're a fashion stylist when that's not your thing?
Right.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. So you are a creator, and so many women have a creative spirit in them. And what would you say to kind of encourage them if they're watching this, and they're kind of like, oh, I don't know, because we're famous for putting a million excuses. Oh, my kid needs this. My husband needs that. My in-laws need that. I've got these commitments already. I really don't have time to explore that. What would you say to someone to kind of move the needle?
Firstly, the word creative, I think, is placed on people who do visual things or written word or, a fabulous dinner. I think you can find creativity in auto mechanics. Everything can be creative, and everybody has their own creative skill. They just have to decide how to filter it so they can express themselves in that area. And I think that the best way to do it is to think about what it is that you feel happy when you're doing. Like, whatever it may be, if it brings you joy, then that's the space you should be filling more of and paying attention to. And I think that it's hard because we as women are taught, and it's in our nature, to be caretakers, and everybody else comes first. And that's okay. You don't have to switch that up, but you also have to take care of yourself.
Oh, I love that. So you've got some pretty exciting things happening. This whole explosion for you on the fashion scene. You've been all over the place. I've watched all your TV stuff, and you've got an exciting new project that you're launching very soon. Can you share a little bit about that? And I went through and watched a lot of your old TikToks, so I know you designed some jewelry, I don't know, 20 years ago.
Yeah, I did. That was a bunch of different stuff. So that's starting up again. Holy cow, look at that. Yeah, we're going to have the carlarockmore.com website and my first jewelry launch sometime in the very near future. I think about end Feb is when that's going to drop. And we'll see what happens after that. The interesting thing about what happened with social media for me is that I've become somewhat of a family share. And so I've got younger people watching me on one platform and older people watching me on another platform. And each of them seem to share with each, like mothers and daughters and sons and husbands. And, I'm getting messages saying, I showed you to my mom and now she's putting on a lip and, has a little bit more of a spring in her step. So I'm hoping that my merchandise will also resonate with everybody. I can't, I'm not in the twerking stage of my life, so there won't be many G-strings on the site.
So, Carla, thank you so much for joining us. What would you like to leave people with? You know, women who are watching this, who've seen you and seen your wonderful success and seen your amazing closet. Are we going to see this in Architectural Digest? This closet's unbelievable.
I think there was an Architectural Digest this past year. You can pull it up. It's in there.
Okay. So what would you like to leave women with? You know, what you've done, you were already on the trajectory. So you had lots of things for lots of years. Fashion has always been your medium.
Yeah.
And how would you like to tell other women who want to pro-age, want to continue to be vibrant and live their best lives? I like to think the best years are always ahead of me. So what would you say?
You know, there's this French saying, I don't know, the French really have it between, you know, women aging very well and staying relevant in society. And this fantastic saying that has always been my mantra, which is "Elle est très bien dans sa peau," which means she sits well in her skin. I mean, how can you, there's nothing better than feeling like you sit well in your skin. So my hope is that all women strive first and foremost to be authentic enough to sit within their own skin comfortably. And that takes guts and a little work.
I love that. And authentic is a word. I had written down some words and some things, my thoughts and observations. And I love that you don't take yourself too seriously, that you're accessible and entertaining, that your closet is so fun and inspiring, that you incorporate your family in what you do. So I feel like I really know you. I'm like, I can't wait to meet her in person and, you know, hang out. You're inspiring, you're honest, you're a little acerbic. And you, to me, because I am in the food business, you are the Ina Garten of fashion.
Love it. I think I just saw a documentary on Ina. And the whole, it's on the yes, I just did. I'd love to meet her. She seems fabulous.
So your closet is her kitchen.
Oh, isn't that interesting?
Thank you so much, Carla. You are amazing, and everybody should go and follow Carla on TikTok. Look at her Instagram. She is the most iconic pro-age woman out there, and thank you for meeting with us tonight.
Thank you so much, Kristen. I really appreciate it. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure.
I tried to keep it in the time. Joey was like, it's got to be. So you are just wonderful. And it was a delight to meet you. And thank you so much. Are you in Texas? Is that where you live?
I'm in Dallas.
Okay.
I'm in Dallas, hence the closet. This was my appeasement for leaving my Canadian winterland.
Well, hopefully your coats got out. I saw that the one of the coats.
Yes, they come out at lunch. I have to rotate them. I come home for lunch, change my coat, and go out again.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. We're so excited to have you as our cover coming up. And thank you. If there's anything else we can do for you, let me know. But this was so much fun.
I appreciate it. I appreciate all of it. And I'm excited for the cover. You'll let me know.
We'll let you know.
Bye, honey.
Bye.
Bye.